Hello, everybody, and welcome to episode 49, I believe, or 50, I don't know, of the Elite City podcast. I don't know because I was too excited last week because I was at the show along with our special guest, friend of the show, Miss Biddy. How
It's
you
a
doing?
it's a bee, a beady. I'm good.
Well, now you're canceled.
Ouch.
Good.
Sorry, Biddy.
We had a good time at the show. It was it was something else. Tony Khan needs to start running the other arena, though. We're going to get into that in a little bit, though. Oakland sucks.
Yeah.
Anyways, if anybody that took one of the cards from the show that I was passing out, if you're new, welcome. And thank you for taking the card.
This is the sort of professionalism that you will grow to expect from
Yes.
this podcast.
Yes. That's how we roll.
That's right.
We met some cool people. It was very cool. It was a good show. The AEW crowd is always good, and Pittsburgh is usually good. There was a couple typical Pittsburgh things that happened, but other than that,
Just people eating sandwiches with fries. That's what I assume
I was going
Pittsburgh
to
is.
go with. Well, that's all it is.
Wearing
And
Steelers
when I-
shirts.
Lots
Yes.
of
Oh,
that.
there was
Lots of
lots
that.
of that. Yeah. A couple Pens jerseys too, which I mean, full blown hockey jersey at a wrestling event. That's commitment.
When it was
So-
like 70 degrees out too.
Yes, it was also 70 degrees. We witnessed a man so drunk that his wife was booing him as they got thrown out.
That's
That's a
amazing.
true story. That's a true story. And they had a little child who
Yep.
was not
Oh, great.
fazed by any of it.
Great.
But that's typical Pittsburgh. I mean, that's how you grow up. Your dad goes to a pro wrestling event, gets insanely drunk. The crowd's cheering him while your mother's booing him. And you're just walking away quietly as the police escort you out of the building. Oh yeah. Biddy knew everybody there, I think.
Not quite.
Oh yeah, that's true. I knew one person, so she
Yeah.
knew the other.
I knew a few.
But it was fun. The atmosphere was great.
Well,
How
minus
long was
the
it?
fight.
How long was
Minus the fight.
Yeah.
Too long.
Uh,
We're going to get into that too.
Yeah.
Yeah, we witnessed a fight. I'm going to go on a little rant here early. Tony Khan needs to run the other building because security at this place was a joke. Like,
So what is
utter
it
joke.
like? Is it like a college arena or what is it?
Yeah, it's where
it's
the Pitt basketball plays.
And
Yeah.
in terms, I know the U.S. is really into like college. Is that like
Yeah.
a big thing? Like is college basketball a big thing or?
I suppose.
In Pittsburgh,
yeah.
it is because
Alright.
we don't have like an NBA team, so a lot of people follow Pitt.
Right. Okay.
But yeah, like I saw the Foo Fighters there in 2007. So
So like stuff goes there.
yeah.
Yeah. It's not like it's like a bootleg place. Like, yeah, they have big time shows and stuff there.
Right.
But as Biddy said, we witnessed a fight, and the fight started. Now, I'm going to put this in perspective, Rick. We're sitting on a balcony in a semi-private area, not on purpose. Like, there weren't any special seating. I just picked random tickets. That's where we happened to be.
Right.
So a guy in our section starts a fight with somebody who's sitting in the section below us, mind you.
Like so, there's
Guy
like a.
turned-
Is there like a drop or?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, he has to
Alright.
climb like a whole floor or get in an elevator. That's no, yeah.
Like you have to go down some stairs or something, right?
And
Yes.
he sure did. He popped up and popped out like
Oh yeah, he called this dude out. The dude was like, "Oh, what are you gonna do? Come up here?" And apparently he did. And
How does that even
literally-
start though? How do you get in a fight with someone in a different section?
we'll tell you what happened off air.
All right.
It's
it was unsavory.
yes, to say the least. But like I said, like where we were sitting, that would be considered like the corporate boxes,
Right.
and dude man just walked right into it
Yeah.
and punched someone in the face and then walked out and got back to his seat
And then
All
got
right.
arrested.
and then got arrested.
Yeah.
I mean, but yeah, like he physically walked up a whole level, never was questioned, never asked where his
So was
ticket
there security or was it just like an old man with a flashlight who couldn't do anything?
There were
That
a
wasn't even
few.
that.
Yeah.
Like we walked in, I asked somebody where our seats were. They said go up the elevator or go up the escalator. We found another person, and that was like the last even usher that I saw. There was literally not even ushers. It was weird.
That's odd.
Yeah.
What they
But
needed to
other
do was
than those
what
two
they needed to do
things,
is bring in some like indie guys wearing security shirts, and then they could get beat up
right?
because it's a wrestling show. So that's what you have to do.
1,000%. There was probably more fake security in the building, honestly, than there was real.
Maybe Wardlow beat up all the security.
That is true.
It's what he
It
likes
is
to do.
his second
It's
hometown.
his thing. Yeah. So
It is his-
I only caught that when I thought that we're gonna jump ahead a bit, but when Renee interviewed him and she said this is your hometown, I only later realized that like it's because he wrestled in Pittsburgh when he was breaking in.
Yeah, I
But-
wrote that down. I was like, what?
Yeah, because
He's from
isn't he?
Cleveland.
He's from
Yeah.
Cleveland. I was like, I don't know much about Pittsburgh, but I know you're not Cleveland and you don't like Cleveland. But then I realized that no, he wrestled there.
Yeah.
And no wonder
go
that
ahead.
Britt and Wardlow know each other. That it all makes sense now.
There you
Yes.
go. All makes sense now.
Anyways,
There was a
There's-
show.
there was a show, and boy, was it long.
Oh.
So what did you think? I don't know if how it came across in the arena. This opening promo with the three of the four, and eventually the fourth. No, MJF didn't come out, did he?
Yeah.
Yeah, he did.
Yeah, he did. Okay.
Yeah.
So that opening promo, what was it like in the arena?
Incredible.
Okay.
It was everyone was hyped. It was I'm going to complain about the audio a little bit. I don't know, Biddy, we kind of talked about it.
Yeah.
I don't know if it was where we were sitting or like when someone was on the mic, you either heard it perfectly or you couldn't hear it at all. And they seemed to be having audio issues all night. Did that come across on TV?
The audio issues didn't come across, but that explains it a little bit because it seemed a little awkward. Like watching on TV, it seemed like, Jack Perry would say something and then there'd be like a couple seconds of no one saying anything. And then Sammy would say something and then there'd be a couple seconds of no one saying anything. And then like it did seem like they were like waiting for something that didn't happen.
Or maybe even they couldn't hear themselves.
Right.
Like, yeah, something was, now that you say that, like the audio was definitely off.
Okay, that makes
the whole
sense. Because
night.
my first thought was like, are these guys just like, I thought maybe the crowd was like yelling at them and they couldn't focus, or I didn't know what it was. But it seemed like they couldn't really focus on what they were
It's
saying.
interesting.
Yeah, the audio at the venue in Pittsburgh was awful. I couldn't hear
Yes.
half of what people were saying. That's like I missed, well, I'll get to it, but yeah, I missed, once I watched it on the TV again, like I realized how much I missed live.
Okay, so that makes sense because it came across as awkward to me. Like I like the stuff that they were saying, but
Yes.
it came across like they were a little confused or not sure of where they were going to go next, and if they couldn't hear each other, that makes sense.
Yeah, and actually,
Yeah.
I noticed when I was watching it again today that it definitely seemed way longer on TV than it did being there.
Yeah. And I also I noticed. Did you notice everyone seemed to like just insult Jack Perry? Like Sammy came out and was like, I respect Darby more than you, and then Darby would be like, well, I respect Sammy more than you. MJF comes out and goes, I respect Sammy. Like none of them had any respect at all for Jungle Boy. They're just like, yeah, we all hate you for whatever reason. Like isn't he like the biggest face of the group? And like
Right. And I even said this when we were there live. The one thing that they could have attacked him for that they didn't when they said he's just like Max is he's a spoiled rich kid.
Yeah.
Right.
Like they said everything but that.
Yeah, they didn't talk about like I thought when they were like, oh, you got everything handed to you. I thought it was going to be like, because your dad was famous and but like they didn't mention any of that. And we can't say that
odd.
that he can't say that he doesn't want people talking about his dad because they had a whole angle with Christian where he made fun of his dad. So,
the Christian return. Oh, I cannot wait.
but yeah, it was pretty good. It was a decent
Yes.
decent converse. It was a decent promo.
And I mean, they set up a freaking heck of a main event.
Yes.
Again, people were complaining about the main event online. I don't know what you watched, but it was incredible.
Yeah, for real.
I was really tired,
mean-
so I thought it was good, but I feel like there were times when I zoned out.
Oh, by that
And not
time,
because
we
of the
were
quality of the match, just because I'm an old man and it was close to 11 o'clock.
Oh, by that time we were already there for 14 and a half hours. So we were. That's another thing. I'm gonna have a little conversation with Tony Khan at the end. He needs to split these shows up.
Yeah.
You can't expect adult human beings to sit in stadium seating for 5.5 to 6 hours.
It is cool that they
on a Wednesday night.
That they do ROH like in front of a crowd instead of all pre-taped, like in one venue. I mean, but you're right. Having an ROH show and then 2 AEW shows seems like a lot.
It was a lot.
Someone brought up a good point. Like instead of them running house shows, or not instead of them running house shows, instead of branding them house shows, they should just tour the taped shows. So then you could do Dark, Elevation, and Ring of Honor, and they're still live shows that you're just seeing before everybody else.
Right. Yeah, that would make more sense.
And then you could run Dynamite and Rampage back to back. That's, then you're only there 3 hours. That's perfect.
Yeah. I wonder what's going to happen to Rampage now that they're getting that Saturday show.
Well, shall we go there?
Did they say something? Am I spoiling something?
Oh, no.
All right.
Well, the first, they announced where the first one's taking place.
Oh yeah, I know that. I saw that online.
And somebody's hometown.
Yes, I saw that online.
But that's the thing. Yeah, that's a good point. Like, what are they going to do? Are they going to use that as?
Because if Saturday's going to be 2 hours, which I think it is, and Wednesday's going to be 2 hours, and Rampage is like, it's a terrible time slot. Like it's very bad.
Well, and it moves around so much.
Yeah.
That's like,
I feel like
on tonight because of the playoffs.
Yeah. So I feel like that can't be like, you can't make it equal to the other 2 shows. If the other 2 shows are going to be like live for 2 hours, and then Rampage is going to be pre-taped at various times of the day.
True. Or tour Rampage, do all the tape shows. You could do Elevation, Dark, Ring of Honor, then Rampage, because they're all an hour. That's 4 hours.
Right.
That makes sense.
Yeah, they could do that.
And the other thing, it makes no sense. Me and Biddy, we were the old people. You ran Dynamite to the second, and you made everything perfect. Then Rampage comes when you have, like, you do have all the time in the world, but you had like 8 minutes in between every match. It made zero sense.
Yeah, which like ROH at the beginning goes so fast. I mean, it was like match after match, and then Rampage. Yeah, there'd be like 5 to 10 minutes between each match. It's like, come on, get on with it. You're editing this anyway. Come on, get out here.
Yeah, that's weird.
Like Dasha would come out and literally just talk to the crowd for like 5 minutes, and then she'd be like 3, 2, 1, and someone's music would hit, and then you'd wait longer, like another minute or 2 before the next person would come in.
That's weird because they don't usually do it like that. Usually Rampage, they run it kind of like it's live.
Yeah, that's how they did it in Los Angeles when I was there.
Yeah,
like I don't know what's happening.
It was very weird.
And and so we only stayed for like 2 or 3, and then we were both like, I'm old and tired and I hurt.
Yes.
Time to go.
That's almost a direct CM Punk quote there. Not that I want to go on a CM Punk rant again, but what he said, like, I'm old and I'm tired, I work with children. Anyone who's like around 40 is like, yeah, I feel that. I understand. All the young people are like offended, and all the old people are like, I get it. Yep. I totally get it.
Yeah. That's how it goes. It just naturally happens. The jadedness, like you turn 40 and it's just like, oh, I hate everything now. Huh?
There you go.
Okay.
I've got a couple years, but I've got a head start.
Oh, it still hits hard. It's pretty awesome.
So moving along, we'll move along.
Moving along. Yeah.
Hometown Britt Baker and Jamie Hayter against the Outcasts. Obviously, Britt Baker was super over.
Yeah.
Her and Billy Gunn, believe it or not, got the 2 loudest pops of the night.
Yes.
That's not a lie.
That's amazing.
Billy Gunn is the most over. If Britt wasn't from Pittsburgh, Billy Gunn would have got the loudest pop of the night.
That's awesome.
Yes, I actually wrote down,
really was.
I can't believe we are witnessing Billy Gunn getting the loudest pop in wrestling in the year of our Lord 2023.
Yeah, because when were the New Age Outlaws? Like 98? That's been that's a long time ago.
It's been a minute.
And again, I told Biddy during that match, like, would you have ever guessed in 2023 of like just all the charisma in that group, the one with the least in 2023 is the most popular?
Yeah.
Like Road Dogg was good, and Michaels and Triple H. I mean, obviously
Billy Gunn at the time was like, he was just like the
background guy.
He was the more athletic type of guy, but he wasn't he was the least charismatic member of DX.
And now he's
DX was holding him back, baby.
That's right.
right.
Being held back by Shawn Michaels and Triple H.
Oh, imagine that.
Yeah.
First person ever to be held down by Shawn Michaels.
Well, hold on. We forgot. Let's give Sammy Guevara credit for shouting out the Hitman on Dynamite.
Yes.
That was amazing.
He's got to show up at some point, right?
Yeah.
I know the rumor is now that Endeavor owns WWE, when they bought UFC, they basically cut a bunch of like their equivalent to Legends deals. So like guys that they had on who would just do promotional stuff for UFC, they just cut them because they're like, we don't need you anymore. So maybe they'll cut the Legends deals and then he can show up.
Brett will somehow just be like, oh, Vince, just don't pay me.
I'll do it for free. Yeah. For whatever insane reason, Bret Hart has this like loyalty to Vince McMahon that is completely one-sided.
Yes.
Vince McMahon would set him on fire for like $1. Whereas Bret Hart is completely loyal to him for whatever reason. I sent this to you. I was telling Blasko this. There's that new book on Vince McMahon. I forget who wrote it, but there's a new book on Vince McMahon, and in the book they talk about all the generally awful things Vince McMahon has done. And one of those things is I'm doing air quotes as I say this. He bought Stampede Wrestling from Stu Hart, and then never gave him the money. And Stu Hart didn't want to say anything because he didn't want to get Bret fired. So he just never said anything. So he just never got any money. And somehow Bret Hart years later thought, you know who I'm going to trust? That guy.
Yikes.
Right. Well, so incredible. What a slimy move.
Wow, CTE isn't real or anything.
And then in 97, Bret's like, what? He screwed me? I'm shocked.
Right. And then he came back. I mean, even though that was awesome, it's still.
Anyway, Britt Baker.
Anyways, Britt Baker. Yes. Sans Billy Gunn, biggest pop of the night. Her family ate in the same restaurant as me and Biddy did before the show.
It was just fries on sandwiches, I assume.
Yes, and beer. They throw beer on top in Pittsburgh.
Of course.
You have to.
You actually, they blend it with the beer and you drink it like a smoothie now.
Yeah. It's got a smoothie in that.
There's just a Steelers game on in the background constantly.
Yes. That's
NFL's not playing. They're just showing old games.
That's legit.
That actually happens. That
I was going to say that can happen. At
That's not a joke. That actually happens in some places.
Yeah.
Very nice.
Live in the past here. Steel City.
We're just offending everyone. I hope we get new listeners, and every single one of them is just like, "What is wrong with you? Why are they just insulting our hometowns for no reason whatsoever?"
We're gonna lose the ones we have.
Yeah, we're like MJF when he shows up in a new town, just like, what sports team, local sports team can I insult?
That's true. That's true. Speaking of, let's go Leafs. Anyways.
Yes. That's our reason. Our podcast is late this week, and the reason it was late.
Somebody got free tickets to the Leafs, and they didn't poop the bed for you. It's amazing.
And I got to watch them destroy Tampa Bay. And as someone who might not know, if you cheer for the Leafs at any point, there's very few opportunities where you get to like be cocky and say, "Hey, we destroyed that team," because that hasn't ever happened. So I was pretty impressed.
I was gonna say it's probably like almost disbelief. Like, did that really just happen?
And then today I showed my son the video of the last time the Leafs won the cup, and he's like, "Why is it in black and white?" Because it is, son. Because it is.
Ouch. That harsh dose of reality. That's tough.
Yeah, my parents were too the last time they won the cup. So
we watched a retrospective. Not to go off a tangent, we watched a retrospective of like the 1967 Stanley Cup parade, and they said only like a couple thousand people showed up, because the Leafs had won like 4 of the last 6 Stanley Cups, and they were like, it's not nothing special.
Yeah.
And then they never won again.
Wow, that was said in the Homer Simpson voice. Right?
Yes.
That was great. That was amazing. Back to AEW really quick.
I don't know if anyone can hear. There's a lot of thunder happening right here. So if you hear anything, it's a storm.
Okay. So. Okay. If we lose you, we will call you back.
Yes. So anyway, Britt Baker, very over. We're never going to get through this match.
Totally, we are, because I'm gonna move it along right here because I have a question to ask you.
Yes.
Has anybody found out? I've done some sleuthing myself and haven't found anything out. But at the show, it really looked like Jamie Hayter was legit hurt.
Yeah, I know. You guys said that.
Yeah.
She didn't even take the belt back.
I thought that maybe she was, but then because of what happened later, I think that was on purpose.
Okay.
I don't know.
I don't know that for sure, but my thinking is they
Right.
that's how they wrote her out, so that you can't be like, oh, why didn't she come save her friend later on? Like that's going to be their explanation.
And if they did, they played it off really well because she looked.
Yeah. Well, even on
bad.
TV, when I watched it on TV, you could hear her like, kind of like it sounded legit, like screaming out in pain a bit.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Maybe she's just really good. Hopefully
Yeah.
she's just really good and she's not actually hurt.
As someone who's accident prone, it sounded real to me.
Yeah. Yeah. Hopefully she's not actually hurt because that was.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The interaction between Saraya and Britt's family was, I mean, obviously live. Like, I don't know if like we couldn't hear what they were saying, but they went back and forth like the whole match. It was so awesome.
Yeah, and I know Ruby was out there yelling at them too. Like Ruby as a heel is great. She's doing a really good job.
I was thinking the same thing. Like she is just so good at being a heel.
She's doing a great. Just like when they turned her and even more so Tony, I was like, they're not heels. Even Saraya, like I never thought that they could be good heels. They just don't seem like heels, but they're all doing a really good job at it.
Yeah.
And just a precursor talking about women's wrestling, Rick, you got to watch next week Ring of Honor, Lady Frost, Athena hit a grand slam.
It was a banger. It was a banger.
It was so good.
Athena's doing a great job as ROH Women's Champion.
Is.
She's having some great matches.
Yes, she is.
Then Renee with Wardlow backstage. We already kind of talked about that, but
well, back to the women's match real quick.
Yes, go ahead.
It seemed, and again, this could have just been because being there live. Was it short? It seemed so short.
Yeah, it seemed short, which actually made me think that maybe Jamie was hurt because it did. I expected it to be longer. Yeah,
it seemed like real short. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, and it seemed like Britt's definitely not at 100% because like she at one point she did like a suplex or something on Tony and she barely got her over her head.
Yeah.
Like she's maybe at 60%.
I'm thinking that might have been the reason for what happened later on in the show is maybe she is injured and they're going to write her out for a little bit.
Oh, that makes sense too.
Bless her heart, she deserves it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, apparently somewhere, and I was going to say somewhere she got a black eye.
Yeah, I didn't see her get hit. I saw that picture online, but I didn't see her get hit in the face at any point.
Yeah.
On the show, so I don't know.
Well, even after, jumping ahead a bit, but the whole goofy Adam Cole thing, she didn't have a shiner then.
Yeah, and she didn't get hit in the face there.
No, so.
Odd.
Very odd.
So what did you think about, I don't know if you could hear from the arena, what did you think about Wardlow and Arn Anderson talking about the Horsemen so much?
Again, we caught like half of it.
All right.
Like all of a sudden he was talking about the Four Horsemen because I even looked over at Biddy and was like, is he going to reform the Horsemen?
Yeah.
And then it just like kind of cut out again. And then Arn Anderson was his.
Yeah, because basically what it was is Wardlow started off saying that he used to have one of the Horsemen with him in Tully Blanchard.
Oh, okay.
And Tully made sure that he didn't get, attacked from behind or whatever, just like QT did to him last time. And, now he has another Horseman with him. It kind of seemed like it was shoehorned in there, which is why it makes me think that they might reform the Horsemen. Because why is he suddenly mentioning them?
That is true. And Arn does own that.
Arn owns the trademark for Four Horsemen.
Yes.
So.
Yes. So, now who would you put in there? Let's do some fantasy books.
See, the Pinnacle was actually a really good version of the Four Horsemen.
Yeah, it was.
So I feel like if they could they could just do the Pinnacle without MJF. Just do Wardlow and FTR and Sean Spears.
Well, but it seems like Sean Spears and Ricky are going to be a thing.
Yeah. And FTR is probably not going to be.
Yeah, maybe they pull in Ricky and God, I just said it.
Sean Spears. Yeah.
Thank you.
What about Punk? Do they put Punk in the Horsemen just to really upset everybody?
Put Punk in everything.
Just put Punk in everything, just like after every break. CM Punk's coming up, and just like
put Punk in the Outcasts.
That's right. He's in the Outcasts. He's in the Horsemen. He's in the Elite for some reason. That's right. He's the commissioner of the program. He's a referee.
He's a valet.
That's right. He's just everywhere.
Yeah.
Why not? You're paying him. Have him show up.
Yeah. Well, I mean, dude moves numbers.
Yes.
And that's proven yet again. They're getting $52 million for the new show.
Yes, and apparently Warner really wanted him. That's the speculation that the new show is contingent on him being there.
I wonder what that means. Like, what does that mean, though?
Like, I guess they're not going to he's going to give them more. I took it to mean he's going to give them the ratings that they want, and if he's not on the show, it's not going to get the ratings that they want. So then they're not going to give them the show.
Well, right, but I'm saying does that mean we're going to have does the champion go in between? Or are we going to have a legit brand split? But
I don't think it'll be when they talk about split. I don't think it'll be like a hard split. I took it to be there are going to be two groups that tour basically.
Okay.
For just for logistics purposes.
And that does make sense.
But you're not like the Wednesday group and the other one's the Saturday group. I took it as okay, so 1 week, group A is on Wednesday and group B is on Saturday. Gotcha. And then the next week, group B is on Wednesday and group A is on Saturday. And there might be some guys who float back and forth. Maybe if they're they're nearby or something like that. It's not going to be, you can't be on Dynamite just for travel. That's just a guess.
I mean, that makes sense. Now, does the other show get its own champions, or do the champions just get to go to all shows?
I would assume that I would hope the champions would get to go, because I don't want another set of champions.
More belts. That'd
be too much.
But see, now again, how are you going to keep Punk and the Elite away from each other? Because the Elite are always going to have belts. One of them is always going to have a belt of some sort, or Punk's going to have a belt of some sort. So
I would assume the world championships will move, but the TBS title, if one show is on TBS, it would make perfect sense to have the TBS title on the TBS show and the TNT title on the TNT show. Right. Not that either of them are going to be TNT champion necessarily, but and then if you have the the trios title or something, they can just be on one show for a bit. You don't have to. Both shows don't have to have the trios titles. So if the Elite were trios champions, just keep them on one show.
That's true. That makes
also
sense.
I can't believe any of that, because these guys are all they're over 35 years old. How can you not be on the same show with someone? No one's asking you to be friends, but no one's even asking you to work together. But if you can't be on the same show, you're 40, come on.
That's what makes me think that that part has to be 1000% fake.
Because that's absolutely ridiculous. If two 35 to 40-year-old men can't be in the same building at the same
Brett and Sean hated each other,
right?
But they worked each other every week.
Yeah, and they didn't even have to be in the same programs, right? They don't have to be on screen, but they were in the same buildings together all the time,
right? And if obviously,
and we all know that turned out perfectly fine and nothing bad happened,
right. It took 30 years, but yeah, it all went perfectly as planned.
There you go.
But yeah, that to me, and then again, if somebody either side, if Punk or the Elite think that they're better than the other, well, that's just dumb. I don't care who you are. I don't care how much of a fan I am of you. If that would ever come out, I'd be like, oh, well, that's just.
I'm again choosing to blame Chris Jericho. I've just decided that I'm blaming him for all of this.
Okay, see, I think he's the one that's being the most mature, because he said from the beginning, this is my locker room, blah 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 blah, this, that, and the other. He said that on TV, and then he's the first one that volunteers to work with him. He's bearing the hatchet, he's saying, let's make this work. There's money on the table. Don't be stupid. Don't let this guy be this guy. And make money off of him. Like you said, you don't have to go to his house for Christmas.
Right.
Anyways.
Yeah. Man, well, speaking of the Elite were next.
Yeah. Well, let me get off my soapbox here. I got a little.
And they still didn't really cut the promo that I wanted them to cut for months now.
Yeah, it was almost there. It was fun though.
It was fun. Yeah. It was a good, like, serious Kenny Omega. I like that, him being like more serious and threatening.
Yes.
I like he's done it the last couple of weeks, and I like it a lot. I think it works. His hair is getting darker.
Yes.
Show how mad he is. Too mad to dye his hair.
Too mad to get my frosted tips.
That's right. So mad I can't get highlights. Yeah.
And
but yeah, I like it.
And Danielson's promo, I hope he just continues to yell the word amateurs. I laugh every single time. I'm like a baby, like when they're like, "Oh, you clap," and the baby laughs. Like if I hear Danielson say amateurs, I laugh every single time.
I mean, that was kind of his gimmick when he was heel in WWE. He just said fickle all the time.
See, that's incredible.
And it was great.
That is amazing.
Like I said this before, every single week I like Bryan Danielson more. Like every week he gets better. I don't know how, but he does.
Imagine this summer. So many good matches.
Yeah. Now I have a nitpick. It's kind of a nitpick, kind of a beef with this. I like the angle. I like Danielson like tricking them so they'd look at the screen and then they could get jumped from behind. I like that.
Correct.
I thought that was cool. My problem with it is like Mox and Kenny and like Claudio are just like punching each other in the face and like brawling, right? And then the Bucks are like, "I'm gonna do a chain of suplexes." I'm like, "No, you're not." I can see doing that in a wrestling match because they have like rules in theory about like closed fists to the face. Like they have rules about that stuff, right? But if you're really mad at someone and you're not gonna suplex them multiple times. You're not gonna like chain suplex them with a flip.
I don't know. I might try that next time.
Like the fight that you guys saw, were there any suplexes?
No, but if there would have been,
there was one punch and a bloody nose.
Yeah, but if there would have been the suplex, I might have looked at it. I would have probably still laughed, but I'd have looked at it a little differently. I'd been like, "Hey, dude went for it at least." You know,
that's a bit of my problem with the Bucks at this point because Kenny has realized, this is a serious, blood feud. So I'm going to be serious and like angry. And he's not, posing and like doing his Terminator thing on the mat. He's just punching people because it's a serious blood feud. Whereas the Bucks are still the Bucks. And it's a little bit like, I get it that that's your thing and you'd want to keep doing it. But like, if you're so mad at someone because they like hospitalized that's why it's you and your friends. Right. And you're just like, I'm going to hit you with multiple suplexes. That'll show them. Kenny's over there trying to stab people with a screwdriver, and they're like, "I will be fleshy."
Don't worry, I'm just gonna flip around over here.
That's right.
You go stabby, stabby. I'll go flippy, flippy.
It's a little weird. It was a little weird.
Now, for the save, Don Callis comes down, and then turns tail. And I really hope that the announce crew destroyed him when he ran away.
Yeah, they did. They were like, no, they didn't really make fun of him, but they were just like, I think he realized that he can't do anything. When he came out, they're like, what is he doing? Why? He's not going to be able to hurt anyone. And then he just laughed and they were like, yeah, good call. Right thing to do.
Okay, so are we, now Takeshita makes the save.
Yes.
Are we going to get heel Takeshita though?
Yeah, he kind of reluctantly made the save, didn't he?
Yes. And he looked, the stare down with him and Danielson. Danielson looked very disappointed in him.
Yeah, and they've had a history.
Yes. So,
but I can't see heel. I can't do it. I don't think I can get my mind around heel Takeshita. He's so lovable.
He's too pure.
Yes, exactly.
He would just do with Danielson though. Like, is Danielson really bad?
He stabbed a guy in the face with a screwdriver.
But is he really that bad?
Yeah, it's not like he's like Brian Cage.
It's not like he said mean things. He just stabbed a person in the face.
Come on.
Although I'm surprised Takeshita is still alive because his shoes did fly off.
Did they?
When his shoes fell off, it was incredible. When he hit his Blue Thunder driver, his shoes just popped off.
That's great. I love that.
But like, he's young, but the true pro that he was, he instantly got up and kicked his shoes out of the ring.
That's good.
Yeah, so the next person that like had to do their move, like his shoes weren't in the way. It was awesome.
Yeah, hasn't been wrestling since he was like 16.
Yes.
Yeah, so that makes sense. But yeah, that's pretty professional of him.
And again, like Japan, you think of it like he was 16, but wasn't Riho like 9?
Yeah.
I think so, yeah.
No, legit, she was 9.
Which
Yeah,
that doesn't seem legal, but I guess. Like,
right.
see with
There's-
Takeshi,
Like right now, there's like a 4-year-old wrestling.
yeah, I'm sure there is. With Takeshita, I think my guess what's going to happen is he's going to turn and join the BCC, and then
Yes.
like Ibushi's going to have to save,
Yes,
even up the odds, even up the sides.
definitely.
But I don't know how you can do heel Takeshita. He's so Danielson's convincing. Maybe he can spin it in a way that makes sense.
I mean, people are complaining that Yuta's not a believable heel. So
No, Yuta's a great heel.
I think he's
a
all
great
right.
heel too. Yeah.
He's such a jerk. I like him. He seems like such a jerk as a heel. Like, it's great.
Yeah.
He's like their little toady.
Yeah. Could they promise him Cinnabon? Like, can Danielson just like, I'm gonna buy you Cinnabon, and then Takeshi will join him?
Well, that's what the Bucks said on Twitter today. They changed their bio to, I guess we Takeshi some Cinnabon.
Yeah. Maybe I hope the feud is about. I hope it's a Cinnabon sponsored feud.
Now, see if it was in WWE, it totally would be.
Yes, but remember the Shark Cage sponsored by Shark Week, and the
Yes.
Dragon one sponsored by the
Yes.
Dragon Show. They should do a Cinnabon, like put Cinnabon on hang it from the top of the arena, and it's a ladder match.
Yeah,
And the winner gets the Cinnabon.
Takeshi has to be the Cinnabon champion.
Just go to an airport, bro.
Yeah, fight in an airport where there's a Cinnabon. That'd be great. But they'd have to make it so you could smell it, because that's the best part.
Absolutely.
Oh, no way. The big vat of that cream, dude.
No, the
Just give
Cinnabon
me
smell is significantly better than the taste of Cinnabon.
I don't even like the bun. Just give me the cream. The cream cheese. Oh, that stuff.
I like the smell. Every time I walk by one, I'm like, oh, that smells really good. But then, like, I don't actually want to eat one. I just
Well, yeah, because you eat one and it's like instant diabetes.
right. I just want to stand in front and like smell the air.
Waft it in my face.
That's right.
Legit question, because I know sometimes in America we do awful things too. Are their Cinnabons as big in Canada, like size wise? Because
they're pretty big. I don't know how big they are in the States, but they're pretty big.
Oh, they're gigantic. Like Biddy's not lying. There's probably like 2,000 calories in one.
I know you have insane portion sizes. Again, another tangent. I went to Pittsburgh like, I don't know, 10 years ago. And I went to Cheesecake Factory.
Yeah.
And I ordered some pasta deal. And it was the biggest plate of pasta. First of all, you're gonna make fun of me for calling it pasta, right?
Correct. I was taking a drink, but you got it.
It was the largest plate of pasta I've ever seen in my life.
But why would you willingly go to Cheesecake Factory?
Because we didn't have them here.
Well, ew.
We have one here now, but we didn't have them. So it was a thing.
I've never been to a Cheesecake Factory.
No, it's because we didn't have any, so you have to go.
When the menu is like 18 pages long, you know it's not going to be good food.
But it's like how people in Pennsylvania like Tim Hortons. It's not good. But you guys like it.
Oh, I love Tim Hortons. Give me some Timbits any day of the week.
Yeah, see, it's not good, but like because it's new.
Well,
it's different.
It is.
I don't know. We've had them in my hometown for a while.
Aren't you special?
I drive
to
I literally drive to another state to go to.
See, that's why I went to Cheesecake Factory.
Okay.
I mean,
anyway,
it's not,
back on topic. By the way,
yes,
I did write down that Claudio was so stupid strong because he just yoinked up one of the Bucks, and he just looked like he was.
Them.
It looked like he was picking up a toddler and just like. I was just like, Jesus Christ.
He is ludicrously strong.
Yeah.
He looks built, obviously.
Right.
But like he doesn't look like a guy who's as strong as he is. He looks like a guy who's in really good shape, but not like a guy who could like lift a bus.
Yeah, you would think like Brian Cage would be able to do that, but no, Claudio, man.
Yeah.
It's insane.
I always said pound for pound when he was in WWE that he was the strongest guy in WWE. Like strongest. Like
I agree.
Obviously. Like, I mean, Cena had the giant arms and this, that, and the other, but as far as just physical strength goes, I think he's the strongest person on any roster.
I don't remember when Mark Henry, they had that video, Mark Henry brought that weight backstage. Yes. Could Claudio do it?
I don't know if he was in the video.
I don't remember if he was in the video at all. It was Wardlow who was mad that he couldn't do it, right?
Yeah. And then Wardlow eventually got it, but he had to do it from like he rested it on his leg or something.
Yeah, he was.
remember?
Like, you could see him being upset though that he couldn't do it.
Yes. And Nick Comoroto, believe it or not, did it.
Yeah,
I could see that.
I think it has to do. And I think a lot of that has to do with like hand size and grip strength,
yeah.
right? Not necessarily.
I was going to say at one point, Mark Henry even says something like it's like about the technique and the size of your hand.
Right.
Like I guess once you get it to a certain point, it's just nothing.
Yeah.
Or not nothing, but I don't know. Anyways.
Well, we're on big strong guys doing big strong guy stuff. Powerhouse Hobbs versus Wardlow. What was your reaction?
Incredible. The energy, like people felt it when his music hit.
Oh yeah.
It was a moment, and I'm glad he. Oh, go ahead, Betty.
Sorry to interrupt, but I feel like he maybe got the third biggest pop of the night.
Yeah, I would say that.
I think so, especially when he won. Like people when jumped out of their seats.
Bananas. Yeah.
Now, do you think it's because he's like he trained in the area, or he's just over? He's just over.
I think both.
I think, yeah, and like a lot of people there knew who he was. Like a matter of fact, outside the show, the IWC was passing out flyers with this. Like I think the flyer said like Wardlow's old home or something.
All right.
Like, yeah. So I mean, they were pushing it hard, and everybody in general kind of knew who he was from the area if you followed like indie wrestling.
Right.
So I'm not only friends and family, but I'm sure just he had a lot of people there for him.
Yeah, that makes sense.
I don't necessarily agree with him winning, but it was awesome that he got the moment.
I'm a little confused only because. See, I don't mind the TNT title changing hands a bunch of times because it's a TV title. That's generally what they do. Like they change hands. But this whole like it's not elevating anyone really. Like Darby got elevated by it. Even Samoa Joe, like Miro got elevated by it. But like Hobbs and Scorpio Sky had it for a while, and Wardlow, and then it just went around. But like it doesn't seem like it's like pushing anyone up. Like I could see if Hobbs wasn't on TV again for the next 2 months, I wouldn't be surprised. Right. Just because it doesn't seem like it's like, I don't know, it's not establishing anybody at this point.
Especially at this point. Yeah. At this point, it is almost like, oh, we have to get that TNT title match on.
Yeah. I don't mind them changing it a lot because if you're defending it every week, like it would make sense that it would change hands a lot. But I don't know.
I see what you're saying. Like on one hand, I like that it changes so much because it's so much less predictable. Like,
right.
A lot of title matches, you're like, I know who's going to win because they're not going to, switch it up. But whereas with the TNT title, you really don't know if it's going to change hands or not.
Yeah, and that's pretty cool because like this match, I wasn't sure who was going to win. It's a good point. Like at the last, 10 TNT title matches, I didn't know who was going to win.
That is a great point.
So that's cool. Yes. But I don't know. I hope Wardlow does better with it this time than last time. And that's not blaming Wardlow, but it didn't really work out last time.
I think Christian and Luchasaurus coming out, like Lucha and Wardlow and that whole, Christian being such a great heel, I think that really sets it up to be way more interesting than his previous two.
No, I agree. Yeah, that's true.
And
do you think Hobbs and QT are still going to be a thing? I kind of hope they won't be.
Same here. I just hope that thing is so dumb. Like talk about people that got no reaction. Like QT didn't even get booed.
Usually QT gets booed a lot. I think this has actually made people care. Like people used to really hate, like the show I went to, like it was months ago now, but
yeah,
like they heckled QT a lot. Like he was really jeered, and now I think people just kind of.
It was almost like he wasn't there though.
That's weird.
Yeah, he was. It almost felt like he was only there for Arn to do Arn things.
Right.
Yeah. Yes. It was. Yeah, he was like not even hated as much. It was very odd.
And yet more Cody references with Arn and lots of Cody references since Cody didn't win the main event. They've mentioned Cody a lot.
The most AEW thing Cody could have done is go to WWE. He'll tell you that when he comes back.
That's right.
I did that for you. I did that for you guys.
Yeah, it was all on purpose. It was all part of a plan to establish AEW and give you guys some storylines to work with. Yeah, he's gonna retcon it where he was actually smart all along.
Yeah.
It's not that people didn't like him.
No, it was the most AEW thing that he could have done.
That's right. But yeah, the QT thing, I don't even mind QTV as like a dumb thing.
Right.
But it's not like Hobbs is better than that. It should be like a jobber type thing, like the Job Squad or thing was in WWE, like something like they're there to like, you know, they get 2 minutes of TV time and they're kind of funny, but that's it.
Yep. Yeah, like the APA. Something like that. Have them come on TV, you laugh, it's over, it's done.
Right.
Yeah, I'll take that. But other than that, no, it sucks.
I do kind of feel bad for Wardlow because like Christian will destroy him on the mic, like absolutely, like absolutely. True. He'll find something that happened in his childhood and like bring it up, like, you know.
And well, do you think that's why Arn is there? But Arn can't compete. I mean, Arn
can't cut a promo like Christian can.
Like no, not like Christian can. Damn! All of a sudden, it's like Wardlow's already a step back, and that sucks.
It really does seem like Luchasaurus is just gonna win.
Well,
and
that's true too.
Do you guys remember that Penta came out of nowhere for like 5 seconds?
Yeah.
And, like,
yeah, I forgot about that.
I was surprised by that. I realized later that it's because QT screwed Penta and Ray Phoenix out of matches with Hobbs, but they were on Rampage like a month ago. So it's weird that it's weird that they brought it up now.
Yeah, I was just like, what?
I was very like taken aback, being like, what is he doing? Why is he here?
I was like, cool to see you in a suit with your mask on, but what?
Yeah, Penta I've always thought this, Alex Abrahatis, like he's fine, but he's not cool enough to be with the Lucha Bros.
Wow.
He's like their little toady.
He kind of brings them down though. They're really cool with their masks and they're like, you know, cool theme music and then like they got this guy in the background just like jumping around. Like it's a little weird. But anyway.
Okay. He was trained by Stu Hart though. So there's a Brett reference. Yeah. Yeah, he went through the dungeon.
It's very odd.
It is.
So Renee backstage with Sammy in a very kind of awkward, kind of odd. I don't know if you guys could hear it. It was kind of an odd promo.
I might have
yeah, it was hard to hear there. I think you might have been, but
I don't even know that this happened.
But I do I had to, when I was watching it again today, MJF said something like, I forget what it was in reference now to, even though I only watched it like 2 hours ago, but he said Gene Simmons on meth. Wow. It was that Sammy sticks his tongue out.
Oh, he's always sticking his tongue out. Yeah.
That more than Gene Simmons on meth. And
yeah.
that made me
laugh. Was
good.
This was confusing because I think his offer to Sammy was, I'll help you win these 2 matches and then you lay down for me at the pay-per-view.
Yeah, see, this part I came back for.
I think that's what he was saying.
I
think. But it doesn't actually make sense because he was like, but then you get to be a main event on pay-per-view. But shouldn't Sammy just be like, yeah, but I'm just going to lose. So what's the point?
Yeah, they didn't really establish what the, how it's going to get to that, unless that means that, you know, how MJF helped him win is going to help him beat Darby too. And then
I think that's what it is. I think his offer was to I'm going to help you beat both guys and get to the title match with me, but then you're going to lay down for me.
Oh, you think it's like that? Okay.
Yeah, because he gave him money, right? He offered him money to
yeah.
It was weird.
Well, and you know what's going to happen is then we're going to get a promo like that MJF thinks Sammy was the weakest and that's why he picked him and blah blah blah.
Yeah, it makes me think that now Sammy's going to win, and then MJF's going to be like, "No, you're going to lay down for me, right?" And Sammy's going to be like, "No, I'm not." And
yeah.
But yeah, Sammy and MJF is a weird main event. If that's the way they go.
Now, see, if they would do that, like the lay down thing, they would love if he just did like the finger point, like Nash did, and have Sammy take the bump like Double J did, and then stand back up.
Yeah, I think what they'll do is they'll they'll start the match, and MJF will be like, "Okay, you're gonna lay down," and Sammy will lay down, and he'll like give some like cocky cover, and Sammy will kick out at 2, and hopes that everyone cheers, and then they'll have an actual match. I think they're gonna end up trying to turn Sammy face, but I feel like I would rather have him turn face by like leaving Jericho than turn on MJF.
Yeah, but see, I think that
But he tried to leave Jericho before, and that went poorly.
Yeah.
Yeah, Jericho needs all that.
But he's not gonna still be in the JS if he's a face.
True. But Jericho just turned the whole group though.
Yeah, it's true. Jericho just turned the whole group. You're right.
I'm trying to think. Like, they're kind of in a conundrum with Sammy because now all of a sudden everyone likes him because they see he's a normal human being on All Access.
Right.
But his character he's a jerk. So,
right. And I guess everyone's a face against MJF.
And that's true too. And everybody's a face against MJF. So it would be a heck of a time to turn him. I mean, everything kind of lines up for you. You got the show, you got against MJF. So
yeah. I mean, I guess that's. I just think I don't know. I don't think it's a weird main event. I would rather see Jungle Boy or Darby against MJF.
I still think what's going to happen is MJF is going to screw everybody, and then Tony Khan's going to say, "Oh, guess what? It's a fatal 4-way." Because Max also said there's no way it's going to be a fatal 4-way.
Yeah, because I was thinking, how do they get Jungle Boy in that? But yeah, he did screw him out of the match, so I guess it could just be like, "Oh, you screwed everybody out of their matches, so we're going to give them another shot."
Yeah, so then of course he's going to screw Darby this week or next week, whenever that match is, and then Tony Khan will step in and say, okay, well, guess what? It's a fatal 4-way.
But then what's the point of the Sammy blank check you're going to lay down for me thing?
It's just typical wrestling stuff. You just throw that out the window. I don't know.
I guess so, yeah.
Maybe MJF will void the check.
Yeah, and it's just a banking scenario.
Yes.
Just talks about overdraft fees, like Sammy tries to cash it, doesn't go through, and now they're you got charged extra for trying to cash a voided check.
That's a great point, Rick. What if that's how you get Sammy to turn on him? Be like, dude, I tried to cash your check, and they said it bounced.
Yeah. Okay.
Like legit, like that makes him look like a fool, and that gets Sammy away from him. Like, dude, you couldn't even deliver your end of the deal.
Yeah. MJF is counting on him in the final 4-way to be on. Okay, it's going to be us 2 against them 2.
It's them 2, right?
And then Sammy isn't with it. Yeah, okay, all right, I can see that.
Oh,
hey, as long as it's interesting, we'll see what happens.
Yeah, as long as it's interesting, totally right.
The next match was good,
and that was
Jay White against Commander.
Oh yeah,
Commander is
now all elite.
Yeah. And he's only 24.
Is he? Wow.
Oh, wow.
I know. That blew me away.
And he walks on ropes
he floats.
Flies.
Yeah.
He gets TV. I wrote this down. I was like, TV doesn't do him justice for how high he gets.
Yeah.
Like,
yes.
It's insane. It's scary as someone who's afraid of heights.
When he does that, like run down the rope and then springboards and does like that half swan dive twist thing.
Yeah.
He is solid 15 feet in the air, if not higher.
Yeah.
Like
it's nuts.
Unbelievable.
And I really did like the story of the match where he kept wanting to do that, and Jay White was just like, I'm just gonna move. What are you gonna do now?
Yep.
Like it was cool.
And the internet is so mad that when he jumps on the ropes and does all that stuff. And I saw the greatest tweet ever. Someone was like, they don't do that in WWE. Why is he?
I saw that. Yeah.
And then the response was, why does a guy run into the corner on an Irish whip?
Like, didn't Undertaker in every match hold a guy's hand and walk across the top rope?
Yes.
And no one ever pulled him down? Like, exactly. It's wrestling. It's silly.
Yes. And again,
it's one of those things that you just accept. Like, when you continue to run when you bounce off the ropes, like there's no reason for that.
Yeah. And if I grabbed your hand and threw you into a wall, you would stop running. You wouldn't continually run till you hit the wall.
And you wouldn't just bounce back and then keep coming.
Exactly. I mean, come on, people.
It's one of those silly wrestling things that you just kind of have to accept.
And you guys, wrestling's fake. Did you
know?
No,
you have to warn people before you hit them with news like that.
I know. Jeez.
Come on,
my
Vinny.
whole life. My whole life is
40 years gone. I wasted my life
yeah.
watching all this stuff. You mean Hogan really didn't lift up Andre?
It's just so funny.
Wait,
People
is it-
get so bent out of shape about that kind of stuff. It's like it's wrestling.
Yeah,
supposed
I
to
mean,
be
I
like
know I
that.
complained about the Young Bucks thing, but that was not a like, why is that happening? Mine was like a strategy sort of
Yeah,
complaint. This is like, yeah, it's wrestling.
And
yeah,
again, my point to that, even just doing what the Undertaker did, I want to see you try it. Like,
right.
Yeah.
he literally jumped up and down on ropes and crossed his legs and then landed on the rope below the rope.
Yeah.
I mean, come on.
Like part of the reason people are watching wrestling is because it's not a realistic fight. Because in a realistic fight, yeah, you get punched in the face once and the fight's over, and you
Right.
like we witnessed earlier in the evening.
Right.
Yes.
That was a real fight.
That
and that's
was a
how
one
long it
and done.
lasted.
That's for sure.
Yes, it didn't go on for 20 minutes.
Nope.
Yeah, I have no problem with like the commander running off the rope stuff. I think it's cool.
it's
My
great.
problem with any of those lucha moves is if there was a whole card of them, which there isn't, but if there was a whole card of them, like on an AEW show where there was a Commander and Vikingo and Ray Phoenix, eventually it would take away from the craziness of the moves if you saw 500 of them in one night.
Right.
But that's my only complaint. Not that it's not realistic, just that like, I don't know, diminishing returns.
Well, and here is the great thing, like that I was summing it up to my friend today. I was like, I love AEW so much because you have all of these different styles
Yes.
in one
Mhm.
company. And okay, if you don't like lucha stuff and you like the brawler stuff, well, you have the brawler stuff, and it exposes you to stuff you may not have seen. Like I hadn't seen a lot of lucha stuff and I'm in awe of it. So that's probably one of my favorite things about AEW is just how they are able to mesh all of these styles together and like whatever you like in wrestling, here you go.
Yeah, I agree. And there is no like
Mhm.
set, like WWE has a style. And this
Right.
isn't
Yes.
this isn't me taking a shot at them. Like they train people in a certain way to all kind of wrestle the same way.
Mhm.
But yeah, AEW like and they mix it up really well. Like Jay White in Commander. Like Jay White's not a lucha wrestler.
Right.
Right.
But they managed to put them in a match together that works.
Oh, that was so good.
It was good. I really like Sean Spears on the outside with the giving grades, and then
Yeah.
that it made Jay White upset. I thought that was cool.
See, his back was to us, so we were kind of watch on the screen and the ring.
Right.
But it was a super cool. Like once we realized what was going on, that was such a cool like little
Midway
aspect.
through
I hope
Sean
he does.
Spears' run with the Pinnacle when he started doing the crazy chair thing, I started
Okay.
liking Sean Spears, and now I like Sean Spears. He's like he's like
yes.
I don't know. It's kind of like he always has kind of goofy gimmicks, but he does them pretty well to the point where it's fun and it's
Yeah.
interesting. I like it.
And which iconic is he married to?
I don't remember one of them.
Okay. Okay. There you go.
I'm not sure which one.
Because he just said he was praising Tony Khan like they just had a baby, and that's why he wasn't on TV for.
Yeah, and his mother passed away. He mentioned that at the Toronto show.
Oh wow, that sucks.
Yeah,
So
he had a lot of life that happened
Yeah.
to him.
And people
Wow.
people were really upset that like he wasn't on TV, like being like, oh, it's another guy they're not putting on TV, and like he has legitimate reasons. Like
Yeah, see, that's
yeah.
Okay, we'll go.
Yeah,
Tony.
I really like him.
Peyton Royce or Casey Lee. That's when he's married.
Okay.
Yeah, I really like him, and I like that they're seem to be sticking him with Ricky, so their face, and I think that's going to be a lot of fun.
Yeah, I think that'll be fun. What do you think of? I know another complaint people had is that Jay White is better than this level. Like he should immediately be main event. What are your thoughts on that? Like he's not.
He just got here. Build him
Yeah,
up a little bit. A
I
lot
agree.
of people don't know who he is.
That's what I was just gonna say. Yeah, like yes, I knew who he was, but not a lot of people there might not have known who he was, or just knew his name and never saw him work before.
Right.
Yeah.
So
I agree.
Like
I think it'll be fun.
Got here. Yeah.
It'll be fun. I like what they're doing with Bullet Club.
now,
I think it's cool.
Who do you think? Like they hinted that they're going to be recruiting.
Yeah, I still don't know. I still don't know if it's like they're recruiting from in AEW or outside of AEW. I can't tell.
Yeah, were you the one that told me that what El Phantasmo is rumored?
Yeah, I don't know if he's rumored to be here, but he got kicked out of the
right.
Japan
Okay,
Bullet
that's right.
Club for still being loyal to Jay White.
Okay. Well,
So I feel like
obviously.
that's going to happen because
Definitely gonna
they're involving. They basically. I didn't watch the show, but from what I've heard is Jay White got kicked out of Bullet Club and not kicked out of Bullet Club. Jay White lost in New Japan, so he couldn't wrestle in New Japan anymore. Then Finlay kicked him out of Bullet Club, and Phantasma was like, "No, I'm still loyal to him," so he kicked him out too.
I gotcha. Are we gonna get Eddie J. White 2?
I mean, maybe that'd be fun.
Yes, because now I mean you have an ingrained feud.
Yeah.
I mean he got him fired, well, quote unquote, got him fired from his job. So
yeah,
that'd be a good Forbidden Door match. Just saying.
Yeah, I think they might do Bullet Club versus Bullet Club at Forbidden Door. They might do like AEW Bullet Club against New Japan Bullet Club.
That would be incredible. It's a shame I don't know anybody that's going to be there though.
Yeah, I don't know. It'd be really cool if someone.
Wait. I think I remember something that someone is going to be there.
Oh, have I mentioned that?
What? Oh, yeah. That's right.
I don't know if I ever mentioned it. I'm going. I don't know if I said anything. I'm gonna watch that show. I don't know if I told anyone that. Yeah.
No, I've never heard.
It's gonna be fun.
That will be. Why'd you score tickets? Did you have any problem with Ticketmaster?
I hate Ticketmaster. Anyway.
Oh, I love it.
So I couldn't even tell this on TV. The next segment was Renee with FTR, and then she told them that Mark Briscoe got attacked backstage.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Who attacked him? I still couldn't tell, and I was like, I couldn't tell on TV. Could you guys? I don't know.
No idea.
Biddy, could you tell?
No.
I thought maybe it was the Guns, but I don't know.
I thought maybe it was I thought I saw Tony Nese.
Oh, okay. Maybe it was them. Yeah. Okay. I don't know. I couldn't tell who it was.
Yeah, it was so quick. Like they didn't even give you a chance to like process the images you were seeing.
Yeah.
See, the one thing that sucks about being there live is I missed the first, I don't know, 5-10 seconds of that. A, because I couldn't hear it, and B, they like I'm looking at the ring, then all of a sudden I had to realize, oh, I'm supposed to be looking at the screen.
Right.
There needs to be like when WWE somehow does that and you're at a Raw or SmackDown, it's flawless, and you never need to know where you need to look. You just know.
Yeah.
Like they have you trained that, oh, we're going to be looking over here now. We have to go over here now.
Right.
And AEW, like, it's not that it's put together wrong. It's just like, oh, Dasha's going to the ring. She must be going to announce somebody. I'll look over here.
Right.
And then the video started. So
I didn't notice it when I went because my seats you could see the ring and the screen at the same time. So I didn't have that. Okay. But if you're in a position where you have to turn your head, then I could see that being.
Yeah. Like we had to look to the left a little bit. So it was weird. Like, I don't know, like WWE also doesn't tell you to look at the screen, but I don't know, they might have somebody up there. I don't know.
And I think they dim the lights. Like they dim the lights, I think, more so that you know.
Or yes, turn the ring lights off. Yeah. See, that was not. Yeah. Anyways, that's just a minor complaint. But yeah, I missed the beginning of that, so I have no idea who attacked him.
Yeah, this whole I mean the Briscoe, Jay Lethal, Jeff Jarrett thing is fine. It's funny, I guess. It's fine. But FTR seems like they should be doing something better than this.
Well, I thought of this today, and because so many people were destroying it on Twitter, and I was like, you know what this is? This is just a bunch of friends that are getting to have fun on national television.
Yeah, you're right. And that's what it seems like.
I mean, they're doing it for Mark because his brother just passed, but I mean, Jay Lethal and the Briscoes have been friends for 20 plus years.
Yeah.
You know, even Double J knows them. I mean, FTR, and I mean, have just had classic battles with them. This is, you know what? Just go and do whatever in the heck you want for a few weeks, and I think that's just what they're letting them do, and I think it's going to be fun.
That makes sense. All right, I'm fine with it now.
I could be wrong though. It could be, but that's the way I looked at it.
Yeah.
Anyways.
Oh Lord, the next part.
The Jericho Adam Cole segment.
Ugh.
I have thoughts too. So you guys go first because you were there.
Okay, so I realized watching it today that during Jericho's song, they went to commercial.
Yes.
Because they messed it up at live.
Oh, did
Yes,
they? What happened?
because live they just kept going, and every time you thought he was about to talk, the song would just keep going, or he wouldn't
Yes.
talk. And I got really, I said to Blasko, I'm like, "Come on, get on with it."
Yes.
We had been there like for what, like 3 hours by then. I was like,
Yes.
cranky old
Oh.
lady was starting to kick in.
See, usually when they do that with Jericho, when they have like him come out and then they go to commercial, he like does stuff with the crowd for a while. Like he'll like talk to the crowd and let's say it's like he didn't do any of that.
Nope.
He kept acting like he was going
Yeah.
to, and then he would put the mic down, or
Oh,
and
that
I
was that was him being like, I know you want me to do stuff, so I'm gonna
Yes.
not. Yeah, but I could see how
Yeah.
I could see how that would be like annoying if you'd been there a really long time.
yeah. So I was already cranky just off
Yes.
the bat.
Yeah, I could see that.
And then it just got worse from there.
I mean, I thought their promo between the two of them was pretty good.
It was fine.
Like it wasn't groundbreaking, but it was fine.
Yeah. Oh my God, he called him a jack off. Everyone cheers. Yay, we're Pittsburgh.
See, sometimes the Pittsburgh stuff, like, I get that you're giving people what they want to hear, but if you don't know Pittsburghese, that you had no idea what the hell anybody was talking
Yeah, I knew
about.
that because I'm familiar with Pittsburgh, but I could as it happened, I was thinking like someone in New Jersey probably has no clue what's going on right now.
Actually, on Taz, I think it was Taz said something about, oh, that's the local vernacular or something.
Right. Yeah.
So he did like say that, which that's a good thing, because I'm sure some people are like, what's a jagoff?
Right. I mean, you can kind of guess, but yes.
Yeah, I mean,
and I also like they're totally making fun of us, and we're just like, that's awesome. That's how we say it. We don't say it correctly.
Yeah.
I mean, that's awesome, I guess. I don't know.
I mean, they do that. Like that's Canada's half of Canada jokes, right? They make fun of us, and we think it's fun.
Yeah, I mean, but see, we embrace it here. We're like, we can't say jack off. We say jag off.
See, but at least they're making a specific Pittsburgh reference.
True.
When they come to Canada, or they come to Toronto, they just make like Canada references. But like, it's a big country, right? Like, at least they're talking. They're not making like generic. They're not making fun of Philadelphia while they're in Pittsburgh.
That's true.
Right? Like, and they come here and they like make fun of you guys speak French. I'm like, no, actually, not us. That's a different part of the country. Nothing to do with us, right? Like, but anyway.
Amazing.
But yeah, I thought it was fine. It was good. I had no problem with it.
I will say they need to teach Daniel Garcia how to put hand on. He totally probably almost ripped Adam Cole's hand off.
Yeah, that was weird how he cuffed him in the same cuff with the rope as opposed to
That had to be painful.
That was odd.
I see it's AEW has a problem with putting things on people. Like, I mean, Regal's neck brace, still can't get over that.
MJF's the mouth thing, the oxygen.
Yes. Yeah, MJF's oxygen thing. I mean, it's come on, people.
The time
practice it, guys. Practice
it. The time that what's it called? Who had the key with the shark cage? And then they didn't actually have the key.
Yeah, it was Anna Jay.
It was Anna Jay. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Come on, AEW, you're better. Anyways,
I thought this was a little odd. This segment.
I thought it was so cheesy. Oh my God, it was the cheesiest thing I've ever seen live, I think.
I thought it was cheesy because, like, I don't know if you could hear you probably couldn't hear in the arena, but like on the show, they purposely like had the cameras close to Adam Cole and Britt so you could hear them. And they were just like, oh, Britt, oh, and they're like yelling at each other and like,
oh, jeez.
But like, this is like, we've seen Britt Baker in wrestling before. Like, this is not the worst thing that's ever happened to her.
That is true.
Like, she's gone through thumbtacks and tables and like, she got hit with a kendo stick like 6 times. Like, I'm sure it hurts, but like, it's not like they like, I don't know, hit her with a car or something, right? Like, the way they were treating it's like they like cut off her fingers or something, right?
I thought it was cheesy live, and then when I watched it today, I'm like, that's even worse.
Yeah. Like, they treated it like they were like torturing her, but like, they hit her with a kendo stick. Like, that's fine, but like that happens a million times in like a hardcore match.
See, I had no problem with it live, but it does sound way cheesier. I'm glad I didn't see the cheesy part.
Yeah, it made me think that like they should have done something worse. Like I could see if they like, tried to break her leg or something.
Yeah.
You'd be like, okay, that's warrants the sort of melodrama that you got. But they like hit her with a kendo stick a couple times.
Yeah.
I really hope that Jericho and the Outcasts don't join together like permanently.
Oh yeah, I hope so. I hope that doesn't happen either.
Because this again reminds me of another Jericho being like, who's the crowd interested in? Them? I'm gonna involve myself.
Oh my God, you're right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Ugh.
Crowd seems to be into these Outcast people. I want in on that. Like it's a little, I don't know. And I never it's always hard when you have like real life couples on TV now being a TV couple. It's a little. I get they had to do it because they have the all access stuff where you clearly see them being an on screen couple, but I don't know. It's a little. I don't know. I'm not a huge fan of it.
Yeah. Well, I mean, look at how much like not motivation, but push that Ty was getting, and then as soon as she got with Sammy,
right.
And I mean, she talks about it on All Access. Like,
right.
Don't do the same to Britt, even though Britt obviously has a way, higher standing than Ty did. But still, she doesn't need this.
And this seemed a little bit like the problem I had with AEW last year when it was like, oh, Ruby's, Eddie's kind of that's his girl. And then, everyone had Ty is Sammy's girl. Like now Britt is just like the girl object that like it is that Adam Cole's mad about. Yeah, like she's not her own thing anymore. She's just like she got hurt and now Adam Cole has to defend her. Like she's not, the princess in Mario Brothers.
Yeah,
where like she's
stupid.
She's kidnapped and has to be saved. Like it's I don't know. Britt Baker seems too good for this.
Yeah.
And the Outcast feud was going really well. I liked it. And now I feel like I'm not going to like it.
The only thing I liked about this entire segment was when the Outcasts come out from under the ring.
Yeah, that was fun.
It looked dope and like live too. Like because all of a sudden they're just there. Yeah. Like they just showed up and they're all in black and like just stand like that was cool. That's the only thing I liked. Yeah,
it looked really cool. It all that kind of stuff always makes me think like so they just hid under there in hopes that Britt Baker would come to the ring.
Yeah. But you see, Jericho's a mastermind. It was all a plan.
Yes. That's another thing. They're gonna make Jericho the mastermind of this when like it should be like the Outcasts are doing perfectly fine on their own. They don't need Jericho to be like their leader or their mastermind. Like them feuding with Britt and Jamie was just good on its own.
Yeah.
I agree.
I think this is all being colored by the fact that I'm sick of Jericho. But I am sick of Jericho. Like
Yeah.
Going back to them coming out from under the ring, it blows my mind. And I even said it to myself while it happened. I want to know when they got them back under there because the lights never went out again.
See, I was trying to think. I was like, when did the lights go out? I don't know.
The only time I could think that they brought them in is when they had us look at the screen during the Briscoe thing, and they could have like snuck them in with like some ring crew or something.
Yeah.
But if they did that, they were under there for a good 40 minutes.
Yeah, that's usually how they do it. Is when there's a thing on the video screen, they get them to come out as like disguised as ring crew. Well, or they roll them out in a trunk or something, and the trunk is like they're fixing the ring, but like they slide out of the trunk. But I don't know.
I mean, they were under there for a while. That because they're between that Jumbotron segment and when they came back out, that was it. Maybe not have been 40 minutes, but I bet you it was a solid 25.
Yeah.
Man, that would suck. I mean,
yeah, I thought it came off kind of cool. That their part was cool. I thought the beating up Britt Baker while Adam Cole watched was cheesy because like I just thought this is going to sound like sadistic of me, but I thought they should have like done something worse to her if they're going to do it. If that's how they're going to pull it. Like look how awful they are. They made Adam Cole watch. Like they hit her with a kendo stick a few times. Like it's not like they like
stick her arm in a metal chair and like bounce down
something like that that you could say is like really horrible, like outside of the scope of what they do in wrestling, right? But like
kendo stick, like I probably stubbed my toe harder than that.
Yeah. And the kendo stick always just seems cheesy to me anyway, because like most of the objects you could understand why they'd be in the arena,
right? Oh, a kendo stick.
Yeah, what's a kendo stick doing there? Like,
fell out of my purse.
yeah, like I get chairs, screwdrivers, even like tables, fine.
Yeah.
But like, I don't know. I think that was my problem with it. Is like they played it off. It's like, this is such a horrible thing that's happening to Britt Baker. When like, first of all, it wasn't, and second, we've seen Britt Baker go through worse things.
Yeah.
Like in her video that comes out, they have her like bleeding from
Right.
that match with Thunder Rosa. So like, we're fully aware that she's done worse things than this.
Yeah.
No, I'm just going to play devil's advocate here. And this is only because they actually sent a producer down to tell them to cut the segment. So I'm wondering if they run out of time.
Maybe.
Like, remember that video when the guy was like, he was literally doing like the cut with your hand on your throat thing, like, now cut. And they just kept going. And then finally they got them to cut. But they must have been really over time to have somebody actually sent down. I don't know.
Yeah. I don't know. It was just a stinky whole segment.
It wasn't great. Yeah, it wasn't great.
And I was surprised. I was looking on like Reddit and I was like, oh man, I bet they hated this. And they did not hate it as much as they hated like the beginning.
Yeah. Everyone seemed to like it, which is weird.
I'm like, is there something wrong with me? Because I thought it was terrible.
I mean, I'm fine with the general idea of it, but it didn't come off well.
Yeah, I thought it was blah.
Well, and my nitpick of the day on this is when Britt, I noticed this, I don't know if that always happens, but when Britt comes out, you know how there's like multiple screens? And there's the one right behind like the entranceway where they come out. And like the big screen says Dr. Britt Baker, and like the side screens have her like face on them. And then the middle screen, it comes up DMD, right? Mm-hmm. But it doesn't come up with at the same time as when the announcer says DMD and she does the DMD. So she came out and they're like, introducing Britt, and then DMD comes up, and then they say DMD, and like now it's gone off this. Like I feel like it should be synced with the announcer saying it. Like it should come up at the same time.
That's a good point. I agree.
It's a real nitpick, but I think that would be cool.
Oh,
Anyways,
that
might be me.
You're under arrest?
No, it's
wow.
It's called living in the city.
I would hope it would be kind of cool if you got arrested like while we were podcasting.
That'd be cool.
That'd be gnarly.
Yeah. I'd be like, wait, let me finish. Goodbye.
I have something else to say about Britt Baker. Wait. So the most over man in the show, Billy Gunn, and the Acclaimed.
Oh my God, they got a huge pop too. I mean, I was gonna say it was definitely Britt and the Acclaimed. Who else?
Now, I don't remember this match at all. I know what happened, and I know I watched it, but I have no memory of it.
Well, pretty much the best part of it was Cool Ange, like he hits one of them with his comb and he has it in the ring, and then Billy Gunn steps up behind him and like yanks it out of his hand. And
oh yeah, I remember that. Okay.
Yeah, and just like, oh God, I know who's behind me, and then he's like turns around, and it was pretty funny.
My favorite part was on commentary. The crowd was chanting, I think we want Daddy. And Taz goes, oh, they want Billy Gunn. And Excalibur goes, well, there's two daddies in this match. It's actually Daddy Magic, Matt Menard as well. And Taz goes, yeah, but they're cheering for Billy Gunn. He goes, well, they never specified. We're not sure. I thought that was great.
Speaking of which, Blasko and I were talking about the great amount of small children that had scissor posters or the scissor foam hands. They're screaming "scissor me." I'm like, what a time to be alive.
I mean, it's better than when 20 years ago they were screaming "suck it."
I mean, I guess I was one of those preteens.
Yeah, but
because at least
I mean,
at least you could think, oh, maybe they're talking about like actual scissors. Right.
Yeah, but when you see little kids standing on their seat going,
7 and 8-year-olds,
scissor me, daddy. It doesn't hit well.
Yeah.
Nice.
Like we had such, we were in the balcony or whatever, so we had this great perch over so many people, and there were we kept saying like, there's so many little kids.
Yes, it was
great.
Unbelievable.
That's great.
And you'd think that they would have like more like Danhausen gear. It was all like it was all Acclaimed gear basically at the things.
Yeah,
merch
I
tables.
did see some small children with the Danhausen mask on, which was kind of a bit unsettling as well. You know, they're like 3 foot
I saw
tall.
someone say, I like how Billy Gunn's gimmick progression went from Suck It to Ass Man to Scissor Me.
Wow, he's hit them all.
Yeah.
Man.
He's gone through all of it.
Yeah, he's what a human.
Someone said, is he
What a human.
Is he the best, sex related gimmick in wrestling history?
I mean, you have Val Venus.
Yeah, but Val Venus didn't last this long.
That's true.
He's gone to Crazy Town.
Yeah.
So
well, I was gonna say we say this about Jericho all the time. Billy Gunn has reinvented himself many times.
Yes, he's chosen a different body part to talk about.
Exactly. And it's worked every time.
It's worked for 30 years.
Well, okay, the one thing that didn't work was Billy and Chuck to me was like that was awful.
Billy and Chuck you could obviously couldn't do today, and with good reason. But
absolutely.
But at the time I thought it was entertaining.
See, I always thought Road Dogg was funnier. Like I thought Chuck Palumbo had zero character to
That's
add
true.
To that.
Billy Gunn carried that team for sure.
Oh, hey, how about that main event?
Yes.
How about that main event? It was incredible, and I can't understand why the internet hated it.
What was the internet's reason for hating it?
Well, of course, there was no build to it. It made zero sense for it to happen. Blah blah blah. And not only that,
there has clearly been a build to it for several weeks.
Yeah, absolutely correct. You are, and I agree with you. And nobody can believe that they're worthy of where they're at. And I was like, I just tend to disagree. I feel that they all deserve to be where they're at.
I kind of see, but the point of this is to elevate all of them. So I'm sure the same people who are complaining that they shouldn't be here, if it was Kenny Omega or something, they'd be like, oh, it's always the same people.
Right.
Yeah, or they was like, oh, well, there's a bunch of WWE guys. Well, there's not one WWE guy involved in this main event, and everyone's complaining about it.
Yeah,
ex WWE guys.
People just like to complain.
People like to complain about anything and everything.
Yes.
Oh yeah.
You see it with hockey, and the internet with the hockey stuff. Like you see it in every aspect of life. I swear.
It's a lot.
Nothing's good enough for anybody.
Yeah, it's a lot.
That is very true.
On that note,
good match.
Great match.
Well, again, sorry, go ahead.
I was gonna say, I swear Jungle Boy died at the end. So.
Yeah, that wasn't what I was gonna say, but that table spot definitely looked botched.
Yeah,
I don't know if it was botched, but I've never seen a table spot like that before.
I don't know. I feel like
head first. It looked like.
Yeah.
Well, and not in the middle, on the end of it.
Usually, when you see a table spot, you can tell it's coming. Like they set up a table and
right.
This was just randomly out of nowhere. He just went through the table.
Yeah. But yeah, he went through the end of the table, which is not forgiving like the middle of the table.
Yes. Yes.
It looked rough.
That was gnarly.
And he landed on his neck. It looked like at one point, like both of us, when we saw it live, were like, "Oh my god!" We both cringed.
There are a lot of times, I think specifically to AEW, where I feel like that's a little dangerous. There's just I don't know.
So many of them are with Sammy too.
Yeah. But yeah, I liked the match. That was good.
Yeah.
It was a fun match. It was entertaining. And man, Sammy now, I will give him credit. It's a 50-50 crowd.
Yeah, he is slowly turning them.
Yeah. And I think that has a lot he doesn't have a JAS entrance anymore. It's like an animated cartoon entrance. I don't know if they put that on TV.
They did.
And
remember, I was complaining how long it was and how he just kept having to pomp around the ring for I was like, what is going on? Well, they were in a commercial then.
Nah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, but remember, I was like, oh my god, they've repeated his intro 8 times. What are they doing? And that's why.
His cartoon entrance is cool. I think it's weird that other people are in it.
They're very forgiving with John Moxley's hairline in it.
Oh, I didn't even notice that.
Yeah, we'll look at it next
Eddie's
time.
Skinny.
Yeah.
Sorry, Eddie, if you ever hear this, you'll probably punch me in the face one day.
Yeah, I just find it weird that like I wouldn't put other people in my entrance video
That's true.
unless I
never
was
thought of
like
that.
beating them up.
Well, he's beating him up in his video. So
Yeah, I guess so.
But,
I don't know. It's a little
but
weird.
yeah.
It's fine though. Again, I'm nitpicking.
But yeah, maybe that is a sign that he's distancing himself from the JAS.
Do you think that he'll just like float away from them, or is he gonna have like a split
full
where he like leaves Jericho?
I'll say, just to be different, as always, I'll say it's just like an unsaid thing. So if it starts to flounder, they could just wheel him back in.
Yeah, I could see that. And then I could see it being one of those things where like he's not associated with Jericho for a while, and then Jericho's in a tough spot. You know, he's gonna lose a match, and Sammy comes out to help him, and they're like, "Oh yeah, they never actually split up."
Yeah, there you go. I'm okay with that too.
Because I feel like they kind of will be associated with each other forever.
Yeah, unfortunately.
Because they've been in a group together since like the first Dynamite.
Day one, yeah.
Yeah.
Since day one.
So
same with Hager. I forgot about that.
Oh yeah.
He's been there since day one. Wow.
Yes.
Interesting.
But now he has a hat.
He does have a hat. He's way more interesting now.
Way more interesting because since they gave him a hat. The hat.
All he needed was a hat the whole time.
For years they've been trying to get him over when he really just needed a hat.
I mean, they tried with the We the People and it just didn't quite work.
Yep, but nope, hat.
Hat.
There you go. Problem solved. Somewhere Vince McMahon is like, I should have given him a hat. That was it.
How long until someone in WWE has a hat that they like? Just saying.
Yeah. So good show. You guys enjoyed yourselves?
We had a ball.
Had a blast.
Yeah.
From the little kid next to us who was in awe of everything that he was seeing.
Oh my God. Yeah, he started to try to befriend us at the end too.
Yeah, it was that was
bless his
unless
heart.
You're listening, child.
Yeah.
We're not making fun of you.
That's always cool when like you see a little kid who's like just like overwhelmed by it all.
Well,
and thinks
he
it's so
kept
cool.
getting closer and closer to us, and then at one point he's like, "There's Darby" when he was up in the rafters, and he's like, "Do you think he'll jump?" I'm like, "I don't think he's gonna commit suicide today, kid."
Yeah, we were like, probably not, and he's like,
I was like,
a parachute. I was like, probably not.
That's like, great. I love this kid.
Oh,
this kid is awesome.
I probably shouldn't say that to a little kid. He may not know what that is. Oh well, screw it.
This kid is awesome. I love him.
But he was also the epitome.
Mommy, what's suicide?
Yeah,
it's true too.
Mommy, the strange lady at the wrestling show told me suicide.
Is that something that's cool and we should do?
Wow.
Oh, this guy.
Man, Rick, you took it.
Yeah, awesome. I went too far. I could feel myself going too far as I did it. But hey, what are you gonna do?
It's okay.
I laughed. But that kid, though, unfortunately, was the epitome of the brainwashing that the WWE machine does.
Yes. Holy crap, was he?
All he talked about was he could not wait until all these people from AEW go to WWE. Like thinking that, this is like a minor league thing that my parents took me to.
Right.
And like he even said, nobody here could take Roman's belts.
Right.
And
okay.
Like he just kept going on like, man, I can't wait to see Darby in WWE. When he finally makes it there, it's going to be awesome. And
that little kid was Shane McMahon.
And probably. But it just like, it hurt me in such ways that there's people like that they have them. Like,
you start yelling at this kid about like how Vince killed the territory system. Yeah. You're like, now listen, you don't understand.
I know. Right. When he said that, I was like, kid, they'd never let Darby into WWE. It's funny, Blasko, that you and I both had the same thoughts, but we did not talk about them.
That is very true.
Yes. I thought the same exact thing.
I like how you're mad that a kid like is like likes WWE too much. That's great.
No, not mad, just like
I love it.
Disappointed.
No, it bothers me that he thinks that way.
Right.
It's like they have it programmed in their heads that no matter what, if it's something else, it's below us.
I mean, I thought that way as like I remember telling you that like when Brett left for WCW, I remember thinking like, well, I just can't watch him anymore. Like there was no thought that crossed my mind of like I could just watch WCW. Like
right. And but I mean, geez, it was like, oh, these guys are good, but they'll be better there.
Right.
And it was like, kid.
Yeah.
Why?
I do remember
hurt.
thinking that way though.
Oh, totally. But
And that used to kind of be true. Like I remember when Jericho came to WWF, the general thinking was, oh yeah, he didn't get anyone in WCW, but he's gonna now that he's here, it's gonna be great. So they used to be able to do that, but they don't do that anymore. Now you end up in the ring alone with a rubber chicken.
And you lose at WrestleMania. Man, that was awesome.
Oh, Cody. Poor Cody.
That was the most championship thing he could have done. Lose at WrestleMania. And then get destroyed the following night on.
Yes.
Oh boy.
Yes. Poor Cody.
Man. And
Poor
then
millionaire Cody.
Without him. All In's gonna happen without him. And
That's right.
All In 2, excuse me.
Yes.
All In 2 Electric Boogaloo.
Apparently there's 55. What did you say?
Yes.
55,000 people on the pre-registered list now.
Yep.
If even half that number of people buy tickets, that's huge.
Yep. That's what, next Friday they go on sale, May 5th. We'll find out really soon, or 2 Fridays from now.
Yeah, 2 Fridays from now. I was like, next Friday's not May. You can't do that to me already. Time can't be going that fast.
That was ballparked.
Yeah.
That's going to be an interesting day.
Yes, to see how many they sell.
Oh, do they
That'll
go?
Be cool.
This is a stupid question. Do they go on sale? They're England's 5 hours ahead.
I think it's 5 hours different. Yeah.
So it's usually 10. So it'll be like 5 a.m.
Yeah, it'll be like the middle of the night
time.
Yeah.
Or early morning.
Yeah.
5 a.m.'s not that. It's not the middle of the night, is it? No, it's morning.
No, you're right. Good point.
Yeah, I was very. But then I started to say it. I was like, maybe he's right. Anyway,
that'll be cool.
Be interesting to see how many people in the United States get tickets. Because
is it open to the United States, or does the UK get preference first?
That's another good question. I don't know. Well, there were a lot of people online saying, please, American scalpers, don't buy tickets. Give us a chance first.
Because I did feel like I saw somewhere that UK people got preference, but then I saw other people saying that's not true. So I don't know.
You could also probably have one of those VPs.
Who would do something like that? Pretend to be from the UK to access AEW? Who would do something like that?
That's illegal. I'm calling the police.
How could a person do that? It's terrible.
I'm just saying.
Terrible.
You could totally do that and get yourself
just terrible.
To All In too. Just saying, you could do that.
I mean, I already do have a ticket to Forbidden Door. If you haven't heard.
What?
Yes.
Really? When did this happen? When did this happen?
Anyone else have anything to say?
I'm good.
I think I'm good.
Yeah, okay. I kind of got to pee, so.
Well, there you go. Let's end it on that.
On that note, thank you everybody for listening to the Elite City podcast. And if we kind of went off the rails a little bit this week, we apologize, but we were there. So.
And remember, like, share, subscribe, rate. What else do we want to ask people to do? There was a bunch of stuff we wanted to ask people to do.
All that. That's
all those things.
Pledge your allegiance to us.
Yes.
Or that. I mean, we'll take it. Yeah, like, subscribe, share. That's a good one.
And rate.
Yeah.
Tell your friends.
Tell your friends.
Even your grandma.
If
she's dead, do a
seance. Get a Ouija board.
Yeah. Get a Ouija board.
Wow, you did dig yourself out of it. I was gonna say I can't wait to see how you dig out of this one. Made me.
There you go. But yes, all that stuff. Thanks for listening.
Please do it. Thank you.
And if Blasko gave you a card, I hope he was cool and nice to you.
He was.
I was. All right. That was super cool. There was even a dude with his face painted like Sting, and I addressed him as Mr. Sting.
Awesome.
Yeah. So.
And that was Sting.
I mean, why dude had to buy a ticket to get in, I don't know, but bad contract at AEW, but whatever.
He's like, I know I should have read that in the contract that I don't have to buy tickets. I've been in this business for 40 years.
You think I would know by now. That's why he didn't do well in WWE.
That's right.
I buy no tickets here. And Vince is like, well, then we ain't doing business. Anyways, thank you everybody again. And we have some fun stuff coming up because we're coming up. We're going to be a year old, so
Yes.
stay tuned. And on that note, we'll just end it. So bye, later.